Record. All right. Peace, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today we are going to be going over the crypto market, seeing what's going on. Looks like we've had a turn of events that has made the overall market turn bearish. Right now, we are inside of the golden ratio on Bitcoin. And I want to take a look at some of the other assets that are comparing to Bitcoin as well. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, this is not financial advice. Please do not take this as such. This is 100% for education and entertainment purposes only. Please do not take this as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. All right. Let's take a look at total market cap first before I go off into Bitcoin. Let's take a look at total. This one total market cap. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. hmm on the total market cap, you have lost this uptrend right here. You see this? How we were touching on the uptrend and it looked like we were going to continue to go up, but we had a all-time candlestick high of about close to $4 trillion. We had a wick high of $4.27 trillion. And as you can see, you have lost the 20-day moving average on the monthly time frame. Whenever you lose the dynamic support, which is your 20-day, you go into a bear trend. As you can see, though, right here, those lows are pretty even right now, but the structure has changed. So even though the lows are even, your structure has changed and you can't beat structure. Lows will connect as the chart continues to either appreciate or depreciate in value, but as it stands right now, it's not looking good. And we could see some very healthy retracement levels. So, right now, we are inside of the golden ratio. The golden ratio is between the 382 and the 618, currently standing on top of the halfway mark. Where's my halfway mark at? Halfway mark is at 2.5 trillion. We're currently trading at 2.62 trillion. I would be a betting man and say that we could get some sort of a relief rally because whenever you lose major support, you always have some sort of a back test. It appears that we've already had a back test of a uptrend on this weekly time frame. If this was me and I was a betting man, I would say we would probably come back and back test the weekly in between this big bear candle right here, really big bear candle. This is your previous support. Let me open it up a little more slow, dark. Right about here. So $2.73 trillion. I would really keep a strong eye on the weekly time frame because if you lose $2.52 trillion or $2.5 trillion, you're going to backtest almost $2 trillion. And that is going to equal to more downside on a lot of these assets. Let's look at it on the daily. And as you can see on the daily time frame, even though you might be oversold, we're going to take a look at the RSI as well. This right here will be considered a lower high. You need to print a lower to say that this will be continuation, but that's to be seen. We will have to watch this over the next couple of days. And if you don't start printing candles above this level, I'm actually raise this just a little bit because I want that previous support turned into resistance. So if I drop this to a 4 hour, a 4 hour says the same. Even though you have a higher low than this most recent low right here, You could just simply come back test 20-day at 2.65 trillion, and then backpedal from there. So if you get closures below 255, I would target 2.5. After targeting 2.5, that 2.5 is going to turn into a resistance. He's under the table. Okay, here I come, beautiful. Let me go ahead and get this done. I'm about to eat dinner. Um, Back test to the daily. Okay, 2.65. You got to get daily candlestick closures below 265. Anything that's below 265 is going to be bearish, especially if you start closing below 2.5 trillion. Let's go take a look at Solana. And then I'm going to start from a monthly. Solana also lost the 20-day, which is dynamic support, is now acting as the dynamic resistance. Let's take a look at some levels to the downside. See what we can come up with. I don't want to measure. I want Fibonacci retracements. Thank you. Oh man, you're under the 618. Next level to the downside on a monthly time frame is $70.92. $70.92. Let's see what you look like on the weekly. On a weekly, you could backtest just a smidge. I would say probably a backtest to like 112. Anything that starts closing under 112, you need to get back above at least 118 before you start to see a turnaround. 118 will lead you back to 152. And then I would say major defense will be at 152.73. After 152.73, you get strong support there. I would start targeting these higher targets, which would be 186.48 and then 228.25. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Let me see where we are on our RSI. You're oversold. Oversold usually comes out of oversold territory very strong. So keep that in mind. You are not oversold on the weekly. You're not oversold on the monthly. So keep those things in mind. Definitely keep those things in mind because this could potentially be an event where we could possibly see $9.70 again on Solana. I'm not saying that is going to happen, but if it does happen, I would definitely be a buyer at $9.70. Let's take a look at XRP. That's not the XRP chart that I want. I want my other XRP chart. Where is it? Bam. There we go. Look at, ooh, man, listen. So I created this window. Let me show you guys this window. There's this little small window that I created right here. This big blue box right here is a window. You have penetrated the window and you are now closing outside of that window. On a weekly time frame, it is showing that this is just a back test. You have a very large engulfing candlestick, very large bearish engulfing candlestick. So that lets me know that this is going to continue to be bearish. Let's see where we are. You could get somewhat of a back test, but I wouldn't be counting on this. And technically, I wouldn't even be a buyer right now. As your 20-day, if I open this up a little more, let's open it up. On the 4 hour, is right here at that box. So if you could get back inside of this window right here, then I would see higher targets. But as it stands right now, I'm only seeing downside, especially if we close below 157. Let me put this back on the daily. Yeah, slight support at 157. Very light support. But as it stands, really, I would look for this wick to get filled out. This wick right here. So technically, I would be looking at something like not $118, $1.18 on XRP. Currently trading at $1.61. So we're definitely in a bear market. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. We're definitely in a bear market. Let's go ahead and get to Ethereum. Ethereum on my Fibonacci retracement is currently holding at the 786. 786 is at 2149. Anything that starts to close below 2149 is going to give way to this one spot down here, which would have us somewhere around 1385 to 1365. If we start trading below that, we could see $414. I don't think that's going to happen, but I don't control the chart. The only thing I can do is look at support and resistance. And from what I'm seeing on the chart, it is not looking good. So, uh, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yep, holding the 786. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily holding the 786. You could see a relief rally to 2749. It would be absolutely nothing wrong with that, and I'm quite sure it's oversold on a daily time frame. Let's take a look at the RSI. Yep, you're oversold. So whenever you have a oversold moment on the RSI, especially on the daily time frame, you can almost, I would say, 9 times out of 10 buy on spot price or a low leverage price, possibly get a back test back down to the 786 just to scare out any large orders, and then go ahead and rally to that upside, which will be probably 10% or better. Let me see from where we are currently. Yep, look at that. You're looking at roughly around 17.5%. It says 17.73, but I'm a little bit above my 786 or my 618, excuse me. So roughly around 17.5%. You're looking at 17.5% upside or a possible 8.27% to the downside. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. Let's put this on a monthly. The structure has been broken, and you have created a lower low than your most recent low over here to the left. That happened in March the 1st, 2025. So now you're under that level. As long as you keep closing below 82,000, $83,000 Bitcoin, and you're going to see continued downside. Next level to the downside is at 71,000. If you notice, that was our previous all-time high right here. You see these wicks? Those were our previous all-time high levels. I remember when Bitcoin was 69,000, $70,000 at the all-time high. And it got tested twice, and you finally got a chance to break out. So anything closing back below 71,000, roughly $70,000, is going to give way to 58,305. Anything under 58,305, you could be looking at 39,000. I would say between 39,000 and $35,000. So, and if we see those levels, that's going to shake out a lot of people. That's going to shake out a lot of people because that'll probably be the last stop before we get that significant rally. So, what I'm seeing in the market is everything else besides the majors is just like dumping. And I mentioned this a few videos back, but let me just show you guys what I mean. So this is 1 inch. If somebody told you to buy 1 inch, they led you astray. So this is 1 inch. This thing is trading at 11 cents, almost 11 and a half cents. It used to be $7.91. Ave, Ave is still selling off. It did have a all-time high of $665. It didn't even print a new all-time high. It actually just gave somewhat of a relief rally and then continued to sell off. So as it stands right now, Ave is still in the sale. Cardano still in the sale. As you can see, I had a trade open on Cardano. I had bought some of these probably around 83 cents, 83 and a half cents to be exact. And I'm down. They're currently trading at 29 cents. ApeCoin is still selling. It's at 14 cents. No recovery. Atom still selling. It's at $1.96. Axis Infinity is still selling. They had a recent relief rally, but it's back down under that $6.64 area. It's actually at $1.54, so it's still selling. Curve is still selling. Has now returned back to its previous highs. GRT still selling. Helium still selling. Chainlink getting sold. Why is Chainlink getting sold? I have no clue. Maybe it's just following the direction of every other market or every other asset. So next out to the downside on Chainlink is $9.78. Mana is currently trading at 11 cents. Near is trading at $1.19. Just everything that is not Bitcoin is selling. Sandbox, Uniswap, Band Protocol, Basic Attention Token. These are the BME, CME futures for Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin again. Um, which one is this? This is Cake. Cake is at $1.57. It was looking like it wanted to give a relief rally, and then it just kept selling. Chromia selling. Even Coin, and I put this in the chat under my bankroll analysis. If you go back and you take a look at the bankroll analysis in the Discord, you will see that Coinbase has broken their structure and they are looking to create new lows lower than possibly this low right here at $173. I'm looking for Coinbase to come back to $145. If it breaks $145, then it could come back and test this area at 125. Anything close below $125 could come back and test $100 or almost at $99.07. Look, Compound is still selling. Chronos or Crow is still selling. It's at 8 cents. Doge is currently still selling. I entered a short on Doge at 21 cents. It's currently at 10 cents. Polkadot still selling. The dollar is starting to consolidate. DYDX is selling. ENS is selling. We looked at Ethereum already. I do like Ford. I do like Ford. primarily because they have the Tesla technology in their vehicles. So I would definitely be keeping my eye on Ford. I would just dollar cost average, to be honest with you. Oh snap, my bad. I pressed the wrong button. Flow, Gala, step in. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for a lot of these altcoins. So anybody tells you that the altcoin market is still intact and buy the dip and all that other shit is full of shit. Okay. Um, I would definitely take a look at these biotech 3X shares, the bull shares right here. It's called Lab U. Let me show you the chart on this. This is on a monthly time frame. It's currently trading at $176. I'm looking for some level of resistance at 245. After 245, it's up. So this is a 3x share on biotech stocks. Okay, 3x biotech. So biotech looks like it could be setting up for a potential run. Does anybody have any biotech stocks in their portfolio right now, or something they may have been looking at that's a biotech stock that could possibly perform better than this 3x share? Nobody? Okay. I'm gonna take a look. Hold on, because I didn't pay attention to this as well. So let me go pull it up right quick. I'm doing this on the phone. That's probably why you're not seeing it on the computer right now. Biotech stocks. They have VRTX, REGN, IBRX, BHVN. Let's take a look at VRTX. Even though I'm supposed to be looking at crypto, but it came across as I was going through my asset list. Would you look at that? Let's put this on the monthly. Oh, hello. Oh yeah, you're in the uptrend. So yeah, biotech is looking good. Biotech stocks are looking really good. Hmm. Hmm. What was that other one? VRTX, REGN. Oh yeah. Man, what? Hold it. Oh yeah. You can get a full V-shaped recovery out of this. Let me see this on a MACD. Right there. Oh yeah. See it on the weekly? Strong on the weekly? You're not as strong on the weekly. Ah, man. Keep your eye on this one. Keep your eye on this one. Let's see it on the daily. On the daily, you closed under the 20 day. Hmm. Keep your eye on that one. It's not as strong as I thought it was at first. IBRX. On the daily, looks like it's running out of steam, but it looks pretty damn good on the weekly. It looks pretty damn good on the monthly too. Oh shit. We might have just found one. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, who's over here? Let me see who's over here. Hold on. Where the homie at? Ant not over here. I should have tagged him. He's probably doing something on YouTube right now. He'll see this later. See, I like things that don't get talked about. When people don't talk about it, there is a shit ton of room for improvement. So, this is how I would look at this. The very first level of resistance on this particular stock, this one is called IBRX or Immunity Bio Inc. The immediate resistance is going to be at $11.67. That's almost a 100% return. Okay, that's number one. Number two, this thing has a potential to possibly rally to $28.55. But you gotta break this 236. This red line right here, you gotta break that because you had a pump like this before. It pumped and then it came back down, but it has been consolidating between $11.67 and $1.25 ever since 2021. September the 1st, 2021. It has been consolidating between those two levels. So if this was me, I would do a possible swing play. Let's see if they're available on Robinhood right quick. Let me see. Let me see. And again, I'm doing this on my phone, so bear with me. That's why you're not seeing it on the screen. Mm-mm-mm. Type in my password. Let me hit the search button. Let's go IBRX. They are available. Let me see. What do they have to say about them as a company? They got a $6 billion market cap. They have a 52-week high of $8.28. They have a 52-week low of $1.83. Short inventory available. Price earnings ratio. Short interest. Hedge funds. Hmm. It says our customers' buy volume percentage increased by 17% versus the last trading day. It's not investment advice. Earnings they have expected on March the 2nd. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Let's trade, and then I'm going to trade options. And let's see if I can get a long call. So, calls right now. It's Let's see. We're currently trading at $6.13. And that's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's because the market is closed right now. So I'm gonna buy, call. Let's say if I want to do a $5 call. Man, I wish the homie Russell was on this call right now. Let's click buy. It's only $370. I'm looking at a long call expiring January the 21st, 2028. It would only cost me $370 for that call. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I would be taking a look at that. But just to show you guys, just really, really show you guys that a lot of these altcoins are down versus Bitcoin and Ethereum. And with the rest of the market moving in that direction, you could put your bottom dollar on a bear market coming in on this year. So uh I would say still dollar cost average on Bitcoin, but I would not do any leverage trading on Bitcoin to the upside because it could be short-lived. So, with that being said, does anybody have any questions or any assets they want me to take a look at before we get up out of here? Let me check the chat.
No, appreciate you.
For sure. Nobody in the chat. Everything's cool. That's awesome. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. Everybody have a good rest of your evening. And I'll drop the video soon as it's done rendering. Peace, everybody.